And thank you for joining me today for Yoga in Our Cities virtual studio class. And this is for Chair Yoga, and I'm Anne. Now, please consult a medical practitioner before you begin any exercise and even yoga. Now, this is very important if you are pregnant or nursing or taking medication and or have a pre-existing condition. So tonight, on a personal note, we are going to do double chair yoga. Now, when you think of two chairs, okay, the two chairs are steady on a mat. And if you notice, I have two mats because my chairs are kind of wide, okay? So if you don't have two chairs and you have accessibility to get a second chair, please feel free to do that. Now, what we're doing is we're going to work on the two chairs, and we're going to bring the floor up to the chairs, if that makes sense. So it's going to be very, very accessible. And we're going to relax our legs on the second chair for most of the asanas or postures. Okay. So still, as far as props are concerned, I do suggest you have two blocks. And tonight I did bring two pillows because I'm going to show you the two pillows in back of my chair, which makes it much more comfortable. And in addition, the two chairs, that's the addition, yes. Now, this is chair one, okay, and I'm going to introduce you to chair one, and this is chair two. Now, there'll always be chair one and chair two, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is just simply turn my chair one, okay? So the front of chair one will face the back of chair two, okay? Now, I'm going to show you two versions of each asana, okay? Now, this is going to be called the forward fold or modified forward fold version 1, okay? Now, may have to make some adjustments in alignments for comfortability when you're in the position. Okay. Now, what's so wonderful about these movements are we get an additional stretch in our upper body. Now, we usually do our sitting mountain. So for tonight, I'm going to call sitting mountain postural alignment. That's an active sitting position where we engage our muscles in the body, okay? So just like we did prior in sitting mountain, we're going to come forward on our chair to where it's pretty comfortable. And again, align those sits bones sitting right on the chair. Feet are flat on the floor. And now what we're going to do is hold on to the front of chair number 2. Now I want an extended stretch. So what I'm going to do is move or shimmy my chair farther away from me. Okay, so I have this nice extension of my arms. And let's begin. Bring your body into postural alignment or sitting mountain. Feet flat on the floor. Now you're going to connect your breath with your movement. And for all the session this evening, you're going to work on simply coherent breath. We've gone through coherent breath in all the previous sessions. So it's very simple. You're simply going to inhale through your nose and exhale out through your nose. No holding of the breath, okay? And as we extend, we're going to inhale and exhale. Okay, so let's begin. Postural alignment. Inhale and push your arms forward or extend them. Notice I have to adjust my chair. And slowly I'm going to bring my head down a little bit, keeping my elbows straight. If you have a slight bend, that's fine. And you're going to lengthen your spine in the modified forward fold. And breathe. Let's breathe 5 full breaths. Again, if you need to make alignment or changes, please feel free like I'm going to do. Okay? So come down. Let's inhale and exhale. Nice full extension in the modified forward fold 6 times. Allow that back spine, just let it sink down. You want to stretch, 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 lengthening the spine. Now inhale, exhale, and then slowly come back up. Okay, so that is the extended forward fold, modified version 1. Now, for modified version 2, I'm going to get up from chair number 1 and I'm going to turn chair number 2, but it's going to be seat to seat. Okay? Now you could do either or you can do them both. Okay, so for modified forward fold number 2, we're going to take our legs, and instead of the feet being on the floor, as we have also done in chair yoga just with one chair, with chair yoga with double chairs, we have the opportunity to take our feet and relax them on the chair in front of us. Okay. Again, we're going to follow the same version. We're going to come into postural alignment, which means that our shoulders are going to go back. It's almost like you're pinching your shoulder blades together. A nice full capacity of lungs, right? You want to open the lungs, open the chest so you're breathing. We want to make sure our sits bones are grounded on the chair. And we want our head or our chin to be parallel to the floor. And we want the head just to look straight ahead. Okay? And let's begin. We're going to do the same thing now. We're going to lengthen our spine in the forward fold. So we're going to slide our fingers right down the knees, and if you can, to the shins, and all the way to the ankles. In the second version of the forward fold. Now, if you can, hold on to your toes with your fingers in a nice full stretch, feeling the lengthening of your back body. And let's do 6 full coherent breaths, and I'll do the counting. Remember, no holds. And simply breathe. Now, for an intention this evening, you may want to pick out something like, I honor myself. I honor myself, and say it 3 times. I honor myself. Now, with each exhalation, see if you can come a little further into the forward fold and breathe 6 full breaths. Now be aware and cognizant of your abdominal muscles. Now you want to engage those. So tighten your abdominal muscles while you're in the modified forward fold. And actually for all our asanas, we want those abdominal muscles to be very active. So breathe. Takes a little work, but it's worth it. Now you can also feel the extension in the arms. And if you can, on the exhalation, come a little bit farther into your stretch. And breathe. Now inhale, exhale, slide those fingers right up the shins, the knees, and the thighs. And let's kind of shimmy around, okay? Getting the body a little bit more warmed up. And I want to make sure my mic is still on. Now, if you can, just kind of move in a semicircle. Now, you could sit as I am off of the side of the chair. It allows me to move a little bit fuller circles. And then reverse. All righty. Now, the next two are called cobbler pose. And there's cobbler pose version 1, and then we'll go into cobbler pose version 2. So again, for cobbler pose version 1, we're going to come up. We have our first chair, chair number 1. And then we're going to take our chair number 2 and do what we did in the forward fold. We're going to turn it. So version 1, the back of the chair of 2 is facing the front of chair number 1. Now, we have some variances in this, okay? And you pick out what works for your body, okay? Now, this, as you can see, this particular chair that I have, for no reason, it's what I have in the house, you can see there's some openings in the back, okay? Now, the cobbler pose is simply just like the cobbler pose in the regular asanas, or the butterfly as we call it, okay? So for this cobbler pose, I'm going to come again in shimmy. My body's going to be actively engaged, postural alignment. So I want to, again, always come back into that sitting mountain. The shoulders back, the belly or the abdominal muscles engaged. And then what I'm going to do for the cobbler pose is I'm going to take my left leg and I'm going to put it in the opening. As you can see, mine has an opening at the bottom of the seat of the chair. Okay, so this would be one version of the cobbler pose. And I'm going to extend and try. I'm going to actually shimmy my feet because I want a larger opening, okay, in the cobbler pose. And you're simply, again, going to take your hands and hold on to the side of chair number 1, okay? This also helps with the spine. You want to lengthen the spine, and you could feel it, right? You could feel the shoulder blades kissing each other. This just feels wonderful, okay? And you can do 6 inhalations and exhalations in this particular version. Now, some of you maybe have a type of chair that you can take your feet and you could rest them even farther up on the chair. And now, the same thing. You're going to extend at the sides of the knees and open up the chest and breathe. You're opening up the legs in the cobbler pose or the butterfly pose. And breathe 6 breaths. And if you want, you can just kind of turn, open the chest, and breathe. Now for the cobbler pose or butterfly pose version 1, I want to show you another way that we could engage and use our blocks, okay? So I'm going to take my blocks and I'm going to put them on one side of the chair. If you have your blocks, please follow. And the other block, put it here. Now again, I'm going to come into sitting mountain on the edge of my chair. I'm going to take my left foot and put it on the left block and the right on the right. And I'm going to also hold on to the sides of the chair with both hands. And again, we have an opening of the cobbler pose or butterfly pose. And breathe deeply. Let's do 6 full coherent breaths at your own speed. Take notice of your abdominal muscles again. Keep them engaged. I have to remind myself to engage my abdominal muscles. Also very good for the spine. It strengthens the spine. Now with double chair yoga, there's a lot of variety that you can play with, and on your own, if you try it, you can play with different formats, always keeping in mind, of course, the sitting mountain, and the postural alignment, and also our breath, connecting our breath with our movement, and of course, safety. Okay. Now, I've seen this double chair yoga sometimes where people even take the soles of the feet and they just simply sit on the one chair and come into the cobbler pose. I do prefer, though, using the double chair yoga because it's very comfortable. Okay. And simply breathe. Okay. But it is more secure when you hold on to chair number 1. Okay. And now let's lower the feet. And we're going to move now into cobbler pose version 2. Okay. So for version 2, I'm going to take the blocks and put them back. And version 2, we have our chair number 1, and then I'm going to get up and take my chair number 2 and put it facing chair 1. So seat to seat. All right. Now, for this cobbler pose, you're going to sit on chair number 1 and place hands on the chair number 1 for cobbler pose version 1. Then you're going to take your legs and you're going to rest them on the chair in front of you or chair number 2. However, we want to shimmy our buttocks towards the front of chair number 1 and hold on to chair number 1 with both hands so you feel safe. Then we're going to bring the knees and push them out to the side and come down as far as you can. Some people have a lot of flexibility or range of motion, and they can really open up into the cobbler pose. Okay? Now, readjust so you're comfortable, but you want that open chest. So take those shoulders and push them back. And simply breathe. Now, if there's anything uncomfortable, make your adjustments. So, for example, you may need to take your chin and make sure it is aligned with the floor beneath you. Okay, we don't want to hyperextend our chin in any way, nor rest it on the chest. Okay, so keep it just comfortably aligned. And breathe. So let's do 6 full breaths in cobbler pose or butterfly pose, version number 2. This feels really good when I take my shoulder blades and kiss them together and open the chest. And it also allows my head, which weighs 10 to 12 pounds, just to kind of relax. And breathe. Nice full breath. Now we can play with this posture or asana. On the next exhalation, just kind of take the feet or the toes and bring them closer to the edge of the chair number 2. So they're farther away from you. You feel a nice, again, opening. Again, the sits bones are comfortably on the chair. And continue your breathing. Next inhalation. And as you exhale, come and relax. Move maybe to the side of the chair and just kind of readjust your body. Okay. And how do you feel? Now, the last asana or posture we're going to do this evening is basically the spinal twist. And I'm going to show you on one side, on the right, and then I'll show you the spinal twist on the left. Okay, so same version, chair number 1 for spinal twist, and then we have chair number 2. But for the spinal twist, we're going to keep both chairs facing each other. Okay, and we're going to come back, shimmy our body to the center of chair number 1, and then we're going to take both legs and place them on chair number 2. So you're resting both legs. And see if you could sit at the midsection of chair number 1 and place your hands on chair number 1. Come back into sitting mountain or the postural alignment. Again, reconnecting with your physical body. So now you're working on your 90-degree upper body. So you want to take the abdominal muscles and engage them. Open the chest by allowing the shoulder blades to kind of pinch together. And now we're going to take our left leg and place the foot, cross it over on the outside of the right leg. And now I'm going to invite you to take your left arm and place it right beneath the knee. So now you're opening up every part of the spine. You're going to take the right hand and you could place it either on the top of chair number 1, or maybe you prefer to keep it on the side of chair number 1, or because I have an opening in mind, I'm going to put it right in the back. So just like I do in the asana or the sit down spinal twist, I'm going to have the right arm, where the wrist is, very close to my buttock so I can sit up straight. And now we're going to breathe 6 full coherent breaths. And let's remember our intention. I observe and honor myself. In nice full breaths. A nice full exhalation, and nice and gently come back around, taking again the leg and bringing it back to meet the other, and shake the buttocks out. Just kind of move those sits bones. Now, I did want to mention something before I do the opposite side for the spinal twist. Now, these pillows or whatever you have, even a blanket, sometimes with the 2-chair yogas, depending on the or double yoga, double chair, sometimes your chairs like mine is a very solid wood chair. Okay, so it is designed to have a long seating area here. So what I do is to make sure my body is not touching the back of the chair, I will have a pillow just to kind of make sure to remind me or prop me up. Okay? But you could have whatever you want, be a blanket, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to remove these. And now we're going to do the spinal twist on the opposite side. Okay, so again, we're going to change those. So chair 1, chair 2. I'm going to sit in chair 2 so you could see the spinal twist on the opposite side. Okay. The legs come onto the chair. Now let's get back into postural alignment or sitting mountain. Shimmy the buttocks and the sits bones, you feed them grounded on the chair beneath you. And now we're going to take our opposite leg, which will be the left leg is going to, oh, sorry, no, it's the right leg. The right leg is going to come over to the left, outside of the left leg, okay? And now we're going to hold on to the back of our chair. But before we do that, we're going to take our right arm and just kind of rest it and open up that left knee, or just kind of push it over the right knee. Then you're going to take your left hand, place it behind you. And again, we're going to take where the wrist is. And so I sit up straight. I put that very close to my buttocks. And it allows me to have beautiful postural alignment. I want the chest to be open. So my breath, when I do my coherent breathing, everything is getting nourished. Okay? And let's begin. 6 full breaths. Inhale and exhale at your own speed. A nice full inhalation. And finally, the exhalation. Take that left arm and bring it back to the front of the body and relax the right leg and the left, and let's just shake the body out. And then let's come back into sitting mountain, the postural pose, and keep our feet grounded on the mat. Engage the abdominal muscles, chin parallel to the floor beneath you. Open the chest by taking the shoulder blades and pinching them together. And I'm going to invite you this evening to come back to our intention. I observe and honor myself. And we're going to end this evening with a simple breath. And again, I'm going to invite you to take the arms and let me move away from so I don't bang on the chair. Okay, we're going to inhale, stretch up, do 3 breaths, and exhale, coming down. 2 more. And exhale, and then 1 more. Inhale, stretch up, 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 up. Palms together. Stretch those fingers right up to the ceiling and exhale and come forward. And again, coming back to our intention, I observe and honor myself. So thank you all for joining me this evening. I hope you enjoyed the first session of double chair yoga. Okay, take care. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.